Welcome to our Showbiz Corner. Doesn't she look lovely?
Thank you.
You do, you look really nice.
You look lovely, but you smell a bit.
I know, it's only because I've done the run. And, yeah, sorry about that. That's pleasant, isn't it? So, there's a few stories today.
There's some bizarre ones. Actually, there's some really sad ones. Really sad one. Tina Turner.
Oh, dear.
This is just shocking. She was yesterday at a Giorgio Armani show in Paris, not realising that back home in the States, her 59-year-old son, her first son that she'd had.
So she was young when she had him?
Yeah, when she was 18, so not Ike's son.
Right.
Had killed himself.
Oh no,
Had shot himself dead.
Wow, at 59.
59. But I was just reading through some back stuff with her. I think it was an interview she'd done with Oprah Winfrey, and she talked about, as we all know, the relationship with Ike was just brutal. And in the interview with Oprah Winfrey, she talks about how Craig, the first child, the one that's killed himself, was incredibly sensitive and used to get really upset after the beatings that she would get from Ike.
It just proves that, you know, if you've seen things and experienced things in your life, they just...
Well, we don't know, because we don't know what's caused him to do this. We don't know, but I think just the fact that has said in the past he was a very sensitive child. So sad.
Tragic. And that's so weird, because there's a musical of Tina Turner. The other day I walked past it and I was thinking, what's happened to Tina Turner? You never saw really hear that much of
and
her.
I was a massive fan of hers. Amazing woman, an amazing performer, and yet more tragedy for her to bear. It just doesn't seem fair.
Well, weirdly kind of connected to your story, I came across a Star Wars related story.
Oh, there's a surprise. You found a Star Wars story.
I know, exactly. But it's a story that when I was making the documentaries about Star Wars, we approached this actor, the actor who played Jar Jar Binks, we approached him to make a contribution. Because Jar Jar Binks, unless you're a Star Wars fan, is a character that was put in the prequels. It was a character in the prequels. Okay. Funny looking sort of creature with floppy ears. Okay. Clearly designed for young children and clearly part of what was George Lucas's mission to make films, and this is what people often forget with Star Wars, to make films for 11-year-olds. So when you get these purists always criticising these films, saying, you know, people my age saying, well, it's not true to the canon of Star Wars. Actually, it's not aimed at 40-year-olds and 45-year-olds, it's aimed at 11-year-olds. The poor old actor who played him came in for an enormous amount of abuse over the years.
What?
Well, just sort of condemned. You know, you have a lot of these sort of Comic Cons and places where Star Wars characters and actors are sort of lauded, but because he played one of the most irritating characters, it led to such a backlash against his character that he encountered a lot of hate on social media, a lot of hate from the Star Wars community.
Are people strange?
And he's just recently tweeted an image of him and his son overlooking a bay, but where he says, 20 years next year I faced a media backlash that still affects my career today. He's struggled with his acting career. This was the place I almost ended my life.
Oh my God.
It's still hard to talk about. I survived, and now this little guy is my gift for survival. It just shows you the power of social media in a negative way. You know, to target the guy is a really sad thing. But the weird thing is that it seems to be something particular to a certain type of Star Wars fan, because in the most recent Last Jedi film, the Asian actress Kelly Marie Tran, who plays sort of almost the love interest of John Boyega's character, she flirts with him. She's come in for a similar amount of social media hate because her character was surplus to requirements, she was a bit silly, all of this kind of stuff, so she's come off social media too. So it just shows you, you know, I think a lot of Star Wars fans out there have a distinct lack of empathy for the actors that play some of these parts.
Yeah, they're human beings, you know, guys.
Yeah.
My next story is, drum roll, can you guess what always drives Mark mad? A Kardashian story.
That's my plane out of here, and I'm just going to go and get on it. So let me see if I've got this correct. Khloe Kardashian
I've told you enough
is
times
the
now, so you
nice
shouldn't.
one.
Well, I like them all.
She's the one who's had the baby, but allegedly...
They've all had babies this year.
Okay, right, so there's nothing unique about
They've
this
all
Kardashian.
had, I mean,
so
I'm
they're
not
all
even
nice.
joking. There's only one that hasn't had a baby. No,
Khloe Kardashian is the one who could allegedly possibly be the love child of O.J. Simpson.
Well, yes.
Possibly.
That's the silly rumours.
But tell us what's happening to Khloe.
Well, a massive rumour, and that's all it is, because it doesn't seem to be substantiated anywhere, this. I can't say substantiated.
Why is it only ever rumours around the Kardashians? Why is nothing ever proven?
Because they save it all for the show. substantiated. No, but also people just make stuff up about them. People just make stuff. I like the Kardashians.
I don't mind them.
I want to one day be Kris Kardashian's friend, and I want to go to lunch with her big sunglasses.
Is that the mum?
Yeah, I like her. So the latest rumour, and I really want to stress this is a rumour and it's not substantiated. Have I said it right? Yay! Apparently, Khloe is spending thousands of pounds on ex-cops to follow her partner Tristan everywhere he goes to make sure that he is not tempted by any of his entourage. Obviously, this is off the back of the allegations of his infidelities just days before she went and said, I feel so sorry for her.
So they've been sent to hold his hand?
Well, this is the rumour. And you know, the rumour is she just doesn't, she's put on a brave face. Well, of course she would have. She just had a baby. We did this when she just had a baby. Well, the next day she went into labour when it all came out.
I mean, if she has, that's not a good sign, is it, of the relationship, fundamentally? No,
because a lot of celebrities end up saying this, don't they? Well, what can my man do? All these girls throw themselves at him, so maybe it could be that they're in a bit of a minder situation where they're keeping people away, because it must be incredibly difficult to resist.
On that
oh my
note,
God, what's
on
this?
that note, I have actually stumbled across a little film that I found of him out clubbing.
Oh no.
So here we go. This is, I think, some of the footage that we might be thinking of. So
God, look at that girl, looks just...
It's the woman caught underneath that I'm curious about. Look, and then he looks a bit...
And she's a lookalike Kim Kardashian.
Well, I mean, this is night vision.
She's a lookalike Kim Kardashian.
She is a bit, isn't she?
Oh my God.
She's now burying his head in her bosom.
Oh no. Oh, that's awful.
And
she's a Kim Kardashian lookalike.
He's either... I hope he's looking at his phone.
Oh my God.
No, he's not.
Oh, Khloe, come round ours. Let's have a cup of tea and put you to right. You can't trust him again after this. You just can't. You just can't. Oh my God.
I mean, it looks like night vision goggles. I'm assuming these are all the people that we say that. I mean, it'd be even worse if that's Kim Kardashian in the middle, wouldn't it? Presumably.
Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. I mean, they're very sort of.
That's why.
Is this what you call?
That's why Kim Kardashian was so off about him on Ellen.
Is this what you call a honey trap?
Well, and maybe these rumours about these guards, these ex-cops, maybe it is a bit of, you know, it's really hard when girls are throwing themselves. I mean, I don't believe in that. I believe you're loyal or you're not, but you can imagine how in the world of showbiz that would be discussed. One
more story from me. Halloween actress.
Oh my God, I can't believe the headline.
Daisy McCracken kidnapped. This happened actually in May this year, but the three people, two chaps and a woman, have been charged after holding. It wasn't actually Daisy McCracken who was naked in the bath. It was her co-star, another actor called Joseph Capone. But yeah, they held them in they basically sort of kidnapped them, drove them around LA, forced them to get money out of banks, then took them back to their place and got him to stand in a bath naked, pistol whipped him and what have you.
For 30 hours?
For 30 hours, yeah.
Oh my God.
And then McCracken from Halloween, they stole her car. She then eventually wrote a check for $10,000 to the girl. I think her name's Amber Neal is the name of the woman.
Who's going to get away with having a check?
Well, yeah, so they took a check. But the weird thing is there was a film recently released where a lot of people, understandably, were very up in arms about what seemed like an innocent single black woman being stopped by the cops, and this is footage of that. This went viral, and then it was only after people looked into who she was. This is the woman who kidnapped her, and this is the police response to it. So of course everyone was like, what the hell are they doing yet again?
God, look at America, it's so different,
isn't it? I mean, look at all those cars, look, all those cops.
Here,
all those
the cops
guns.
wouldn't have anything.
But of course, understandably, people were concerned because they thought an unarmed woman being stopped, what the hell's going on?
But they absolutely knew.
But they knew that this was the woman responsible for kidnapping the actress and the actress's friend.
They're going to throw away the key on them.
Well, it's not going to be good.
Throw away the key.
It's not going to be good. Anyway, what's your final story?
My final story is, oh dear. This is a sad story in so many different ways. We were big fans of Kevin Spacey, weren't we?
We were.
And for our American viewers here, he ran a theatre very dear to our hearts, the Old Vic Theatre.
He did.
And we were extremely excited about him coming here and breathing life into because we're very proud of our theatres.
Especially the Old Vic.
As we know, he has had multiple allegations of sexual abuse on young boys.
20 alone at the Old Vic.
20 alone just at the Old Vic. And then, of course, all the terrible stories that we've heard about his own childhood, his own brutal father, the rape that he'd gone through, his father a neo-Nazi, all this totally.
I know, remarkable. When you mentioned this, I never knew what a horror story his background was.
This is a completely tragic story in every way.
Victims
There's poor
everywhere.
victims, and here we have another one, Guy Pearce,
I know,
who has suggested. Alleged that he was groped by Kevin Spacey when they were working on the film LA Confidential.
God, that's a great movie.
Is it?
Yeah, a really good film. Yeah.
So this was in an interview with Andrew Denton on the Australian talk show Interview. He was asked on his thoughts about working with Spacey, and he said, and I'm quoting directly, yeah, tough one to talk about at the moment. Amazing actor, incredible actor. Slightly difficult time with Kevin. Yeah. He then added, he's a handsy guy.
And that bit there, thankfully, I was 29 and not 14.
Yeah, he then goes on to say that.
Says it all.
What is going to happen with Kevin Spacey?
Well, it's a curious one, isn't it? Does anyone know what is happening with Kevin Spacey? Are we in a similar situation to with Harvey Weinstein, where we're just waiting for the evidence to be totted up? There's been a lot of press and media coverage given to all of the terrible things that have happened to countless women within the entertainment industry. But I think also there's another different type of stigma attached to men who've also been abused. And you wouldn't expect it to be someone, you look at someone like Guy Pearce and you think, as a man who's got everything. But of course everyone was on a trajectory, so early on in his career.
And there's just as many
very
vulnerable, young, ambitious, naive young men wanting to make it in Hollywood. So I'm sure there's going to be many more stories like this coming out.
And a bit depressed after all that.
Yeah, they were all actually really sad, weren't they?
Really sad.